I think overall I'm quite satisfied with the way how this turned out. There's only one thing I would like maybe to explore and see how that would look, and that is creasing those very soft blends here at the sides. Because currently that is very soft, and maybe I would like those to be a little bit harder. So let's see maybe what options we have to do this. So I'm going to actually prep my model a little bit because this is a symmetrical design. I can delete those points here. And then in this top view, what I would need is somehow a loop cut that flows maybe this way. And I can nearly get this done when maybe out of those corner edges, I start extruding lines out and then let it flow in. So let's see maybe what option in terms of tools we have here. So I could maybe select those two faces and press I for insert. And then with the insert command, and I press my shift key, I can create a surface offset inside that face. And what I really like about this tool is, as you can see, the command creates an offset that is nice and parallel, or it lies on the surface, which is exactly what I want. So maybe like this. And then maybe I have to do a little bit of cleanup. So I'm creating another loop cut by minus 0.5, and then here this will be 0.5 because I need to connect those faces a little bit. So I have to clean this up. And if I move my mouse already, I can already start seeing that now there I have a crease as well, but also I have a crease here. And maybe from the side, yeah, it's a little bit visible. So those points, for example, they might have to sink into the surface a little bit more. So from a side view, I push them in just a notch more. And then maybe move this up a little bit so I give the surface more air to stretch out. Yeah. For example, I could work this way. Let's say what happens if we add another loop cut, or maybe a loop cut here. Yeah, this is too much. So this, for example, could work. Well, because I worked on a symmetrical object, I have to no, yeah, I could, for example, right now create a mirror modifier along this axis, apply the mirror modifier, and then I can delete those loop cuts. So I mirror it over one side to the other side, but I could also have used the mirror tool just during mesh mode. And now my other problem is I have only one of those, and my other 5 are missing, but that's not a big deal. I can press A, select everything, and in edit mode, Shift D, rotate 72 degrees, Shift D, rotate 72 degrees, Shift D, rotate 72 degrees, and one last time. And then select everything, remove doubles, maybe correct any misaligned normal. And then I have this design back where now my edges are somewhat creased. And maybe those edges I would like to be creased as well. And now I can just take a look at how this, for example, feels, if I'm satisfied with it or not. Instead of using the mesh modeling command, I could also have simply in object mode added an empty. And then this name is empty, and then in here add an array modifier. I think it's 5 times. Object offset, type in empty. And doesn't work. Well, let's see what the issue is. Might have to apply the scale. There it is. Now we can see how many degrees. And of course, this thing needs to be rotated by 72 degrees along the x-axis. Because, as you can see now, I only have one masterpiece and 5 duplicates, or 4 duplicates, but the edges are a little bit sharp because they're not really joined together. So maybe it's better to put the array up first. Then there is something called merge. And merge, as you can see here or there, it actually merges the corner edges together into one. But then there's this one that's open, and it's basically the first and last. Turn this one on, and yes, it works. Then there's a distance, like a tolerance, you could define for how much then, for example, or what distance points that are in that area should be merged together. And then you could go ahead and, for example, say, well, maybe this point I would like to go down a little bit to there, and maybe scale out. And then you can see the result not only on just one segment, but the whole spoke design, which maybe is like a better approach to sculpting something when you see the complete finished part instead of just working only on a small segment. And then if you're completely done, if you want, you can click apply, because be careful that every time when you move your object, you see what happens. Or if I move my empty, I just have to move both together in tandem.